welcome to my Flosstube channel. I'm Rin, and are you ready to talk about some stitching? Because I've got plenty to show you for December, because I was very busy. Some of my plans got a little changed because we were supposed to go out of town from like the 23rd to the 30th to visit family, but then there was all the cold weather, and it wasn't like so much down here. Like, it was cold down here for Florida, but it was very cold up where we were going. And then some people were sick, so we just decided to delay it a week. So it was more into January. So I ended up switching some things around than I had been thinking about, but it's okay. I'm working on stuff. I started a couple of my princess things because I was going to start those all in January. But since we were going to be gone for like the first week of it, I started at the end of December, a couple of them. So I didn't make notes today, so we'll see how this goes. Today is January 7th. From now on, I'm probably going to be aiming to film my videos on the first Saturday of the month, because I'm going to be doing my princess stitches all through the week. I'm going to do one each week. So that way I'm not sort of in the middle of the week telling you about one. It'll just, that one will be done for the week. Anyway, you don't really care about that too much. But so generally, I'll see if I'll be able to like finish getting this up today. We'll see. So either today or tomorrow, one of them days. A few quick announcements before we move on. The new section of the Keyblades stitch along is out. So we've gotten down to the bottom there, and I think the big one is the Star Seeker Keyblade, I believe. See, this is what I get for not making notes. But I haven't put any other patterns out in January yet. Like, I was putting one out every month. I'm trying to kind of figure out what kind of patterns I want to put out next year. I'm looking at doing some smaller ones. If you're interested in test stitching any of my patterns, then just let me know. I'm also debating about maybe starting like a newsletter, because I know sometimes people don't really watch videos, or maybe you want to see more pictures or something. And so once I get around to that, I'll put a link and stuff so you can sign up for that if you're interested. Anyway, we should get into stitching. Well, let's see, pop culture for this month. I watched Gremlins, as is usually my way. We watched it on Christmas Eve, and that movie really scared me when I was a kid. I saw it the first time when I was about 6, and it scared me so bad. It's scary to a 6-year-old. I find it very amusing now because it is pretty silly, but when you're 6, these little creatures seem quite frightening, that they might just pop out of anywhere. So, bit of a throwback there, which that's available for streaming on HBO Max, at least if you're in the States, so if you want to check that out. So, let's get to talking about some stitching. So, I've just got some of my like planners. Yes, that's the word. I've got my planners here to sort of keep me on track with what I'm talking about. I'm going to try to remember fabric counts and stuff. We'll see. I'm going to also try to start putting those down in the box, so if I don't remember, they should be down there. So let's start off with Supernatural Sal. This is by the Witchy Stitcher. So I did 1,792 stitches, and it's on a 32 count country mocha linen. So I got the Banshee and the Changeling done. Woo! Aren't they so cute? So I added some stitches in here. The inside the gravestone was empty, but I added in some of the glow-in-the-dark floss, and then I made the baby with red etoile, and I gave him little glow-in-the-dark eyes. So those were my little customizations this month. So those are fun. Yeah, that's really cute. I'm having fun working on that. It's just a little bit at a time. It'll take me a while, but it's fine. They go pretty quickly. Okay. Let's see. Next up, the Dark Queen, which of course I'm not caught up now because the new section has caught up or come out. But I did finish this section that came out in December, and of course this pattern is from Autumn Lane. It was 3,688 stitches, so it was a pretty big section this month. So that is all of this over here. As you can see, that is it's quite a lot. I don't think this month's section is quite as bad. It's over on the other side here, but it doesn't seem to be quite as dense and big. But I really love how it's looking so far. It looks really fabulous. I love the colors and the shading. It's really cool. It says also on a 32 count fabric, Nightshade from Under the Sea Fabrics. Yes, I got the whole package with the beads and the fabric and everything, so I'm all ready for that. All right, next one. So this is one of my patterns. It's the Outer Sailor Scouts. And I did have a goal to finish Neptune this month, but that did not happen. I got really distracted at the end of the month. And of course, as I'm talking about these, well, except for probably the Dark Queen of the Earth, I'll be putting up pictures of what they'll look like finished. But I did make some progress on her hair. So I got some of the one color in. There's a lot of stitches of that color. Like, these boxes don't seem that big, but there's actually quite a lot of stitching, especially in hers, because there's so much like hair and everything. It's a lot more than the previous square I worked on. So I'm gonna try to pull that out again next month, because I would like to get that square done soon. I don't know if that'll happen next month or not. We'll see. Okay, one of my new starts. I had this kitted up for quite some time. It was a stitch along that came out last year, and it's all done. It's the Labyrinth Stitch Along by Geek Freak Stitching, and I got this really cool fabric from Fabric Flare. I think it's a 16 count, yeah. And I started on the lettering. I thought it was kind of funny doing the middle because this is Byron. I know, I'm silly. But it will say Labyrinth up at the top eventually. I should be able to finish the rest of the lettering this month. I kind of, I'm splitting it up over the year. So I've figured out how many stitches I need to do to finish it. The frame. It has all the rooms and stuff, and I'm going to do those next year. Yes, I know, it's going to take me forever, but whatever. The fun part is working on it, right? It's, you know, when you got this much stuff going, you can't expect to finish everything immediately. Okay, the other new start I had was Buds of May. This is a pattern by Susan Bates. I got it out of Cross Stitcher magazine. I'm not sure which issue. If you really want to know, I can look it up, but I don't remember. So I did, on the last one, I did 1,357 stitches, and on the Outer Scouts, I did 584 stitches. Sorry, I forgot where I was going. On this one, I did 3,418 stitches, so I did make some pretty good progress. I was hoping to get a little more done this month. I didn't get quite as much done as I was hoping, so I was hoping to have this done before spring. I don't think I'm quite going to get there, but it is progress. It is progress. I was hoping to get about 30%, and I think I got to about 25%, so you try, and then sometimes you just don't quite get there. That's okay. That's okay. Let's keep moving. Okay, next one. I worked on Be a Griswold. This is a pattern by Audi Sue, and I've got it on another Fabric Flare fabric, and I did 946 stitches, mostly filling in the ribbon up top. So this was a really good project for me to take with us on our trip, because once I had the outline of the ribbon in, I could just sit there and stitch the color into it, so I didn't have to like have my iPad out and be counting it and all that stuff. So that gave me something to work on in the car. and in some of the places where I couldn't really set up all of my stuff, so I could get a little bit of stuff done. One of these days I'll finish it. It's a really cute pattern. I really like it. Just, you know, so many things going on. Okay, these last two are two new ones I started, and these were the princess projects that I started working on. So we've got Snow White, and this one is from Dona Stitch on Etsy, and I did 3,014 stitches. So this is going to be a pretty big one. It's on an 18 count easy grid fabric, and you can see I love the colors on this, and just like the flow of it and everything. It's just really gorgeous. I think it's so cute. It's going to be a really fun stitch. And I have figured out if I do a little over 3,000 every week when I work on it, I should be able to get this done by the end of the year. So I'm going to aim for that. But it's so cute. I love that one. I think it's going to be really fun to work on, because it's a little bit easier than some of the other big ones, because it's blocks of color as opposed to a lot of confetti and everything. So you can kind of just take out a color and work on a big swath of it, which is nice. Okay, one more whip. So this one is the Snow White figure from Abby Sue, and I did 1,253, and this is just on a 16 count Aida. So you can see that I just started this one, but it's coming along pretty well. I've got a lot of her upper body done. So I'm hoping actually this weekend that I can get the rest of this done, because I got about halfway when I worked on it last time. So hopefully the next time you see it, it will be done. Yeah, it's looking really cute. I really like her patterns and stuff. They're really nice. Okay, so that is all of my whips. It is quite a pile this month. It is. So let's move on to finishes. I got 2 finishes, and they're fully finished. I did another Bulbasaur. It's Santa Bulby from So Nerdy by Bree, and it's 968 stitches. Look at him. He's so cute. This one went pretty quickly. It's a pretty fast little stitch. And then I put little gingerbread men and women, just little gingerbread pipples, a little fabric on the back. I thought that was really cute. Seasonal. Yeah. So, and oh, this is another fabric flare that I got that has the snowflakes on it. I thought this one was really fun for winter than the usual like white I've been doing them on. So that's cool. Just a 14 count fabric. And the other one I did was the Winter Fairy by Stitchy Princess, and it was 1,901 stitches. So yeah, that one is really pretty. Just 2 colors, just like white and a blue. So it goes pretty fast when you're not really having to color change much. You just keep going. And I got this, it was a blue 16 count. It came in a kit or with something, I don't know. But I thought it looked really nice in the background. And then I've got some snowflake fabric on the back. I don't make real fancy pillows. Maybe someday I'll make some with some trim and extra fabric. Oh, fanciness. I mean, I did make this one sort of fancier, but whatever. They're just going a little bowl on our coffee table. But yes, it's cute. And she's a Ukrainian designer, so if you want to go and buy some of her patterns right now, it would be a good time, because I know she just had to evacuate from her home city and is having to start over, and that's really tough on anybody, even not being in a war zone. So if you have a few extra dollars to spare and you like her patterns, then maybe go buy one. But yeah, it was really cute. I thought it's got a little bunny in there and a bear, a little deer. So precious. But yeah. So I'm going to do something a little bit different, talking about plans. I'm going to retire the whiteboard, but don't worry, you'll still get to see my terrible handwriting. I try. This, like, what's sad is when you see, this is like my really good handwriting, me trying really hard to look presentable. It's still a little scribbly. Anyway, so I got the planner, the digital planner from the Witchy Stitcher. So I've been using that on my iPad, and so I put a blank sheet in so I could write down my goals for the month. So I'm gonna put a picture of that up here. So don't worry, you can still see my terrible handwriting, and then you can follow along as I'm talking about my goals for January. So what are my goals for this month? First of all, the things I want to start. I want to start the rest of the Snow White pattern. So there's the one from Tilton Crafts, and I'll put pictures up here of those. There's one from Pain Free Crafts, and the artist is Star Masayume. And then Them Apples, which is another Snow White pattern from Tim Shoemate. That's on Pain Free Crafts. And I also have, those are my bigger, oh, excuse me. Those are my bigger ones. And I have another small one by Pix Cross. So I should be starting that one. And I also am going to start my April Hello Kitty pattern. I am planning to try to do one of those a year so I can eventually get the rest of them. We've already, Derek's done 2 and I've done 2. We've done January, February, March, and July. It's kind of random, but that's the one he wanted to stitch. So I'm doing the April one. I'm trying to kind of fill in and get those done. The things I want to work on that I've already started, I'm going to continue. I'm going to work on the Donut Stitch Snow White pattern she saw. I'm pulling my Golden Girls pattern back out that I worked on, I think, last January. So you see that. I'm going to get back to work on the Pixel Prime style from 2022. I'm going to be trying to work on the frame for that this year. And I was already talking a little bit about the Labyrinth style. I'm working to get the frame that finished this year. I'm also wanting to work more on Buds of May. That was the seasonal window I was showing you earlier. I want to try to work on the outer scats. I don't know. That'll kind of depend on how quickly I can get all of the other stuff done. I want to do the next section of the Dark Queen. And I want to do one more creature on the Supernatural Sow. Things I want to finish this month. I'm doing another Bulbasaur for January. I'm doing another Stitchy Princess pattern for the spring. It'll be the Flower Fairy. I'm getting back to my Chrono Cross portraits. So I'll be doing Kid next month. And I want to finish, like I said earlier, that Snow White by Abby Sue. So that's my goals for January. So I also want to talk about some of the goals I have for 2023 in general. Some of those I talked about. I'm hoping to finish that the pattern from Donut Stitch, Snow White pattern. I want to finish the frame for the Labyrinth Sow. I'm not planning to finish the frame for the Pixel Prime Sow because it's very big and it just seemed like that was too many stitches a month. I probably wouldn't be able to get done. So I'm probably going to get about halfway on that this year and then get the rest of it done in 2024. There's a lot of stitching on that. You start adding up the stitches. It's very substantial. I'm also going to continue working on the Supernatural Sow. I'm probably going to do one little box, one little creature each month, except in May and October. I'm planning to do 2. So that should put me on track to finish it in October. I'm going to do like spooky stitching in May and October again, but I'm not going to try to get up to 13 projects. I'm going to try to finish some of the projects that I've started. I may add some small projects, but I'm not planning on adding any bigger projects, at least until I finish a few of the ones that I've been working on, because I'm just like juggling a lot of projects right now, and I really would like to have the time to finish a few of those before I dive into anything new. I'm going to be working on all my princess patterns. The other big ones I won't be finishing this year, but I should get pretty far. Maybe some of them can be finished next year for Snow White. So we'll see how that goes. What else? See, I should have made notes. Yeah, but I want to do some of the other things like stitching Pride stuff in June. I may start a new small project. I don't want to take on a bunch. I'm trying to not add a whole bunch. I want to work on the Trans Pride tapestry by Dee's 20 Stitches then too, and make some more progress on that because I haven't worked on that in quite some time. Quite some time. Yeah. And as far as like patterns and stuff, I'm thinking of doing some small patterns. I've drafted a few that I've tried out, so I did them a while ago on like graph paper, so I'm gonna try to get those made into like patterns that I can put out and show you what I'm talking about. I did a lot of stuff based on the Scott Pilgrim video game from the little game sprites, and then I was making other characters in that style from like other things. I did a few from Stranger Things. I did one from Steven Universe, so they're, you know, not real big, so it's a little more manageable. I've put out a lot of very large patterns, I will admit. I know. And I want to try to put out some smaller stuff this year. I do want to put out some Doctor Who patterns. I was working on a series based on the like title cards of each Doctor, and I'm going to try to get one of those out in January so I can kind of go through each Doctor each month, because when they're going on to the 14th Doctor, but they've had 13 Doctors so far, but the 9th and 10th Doctor, they didn't change it because the 9th Doctor was only there for a year, so there's like 12 different ones. So I guess I should get cracking and put that one out soon. For the 60th anniversary of Doctor Who. I know, it's exciting. It's a lot of years. And I'm also planning on watching all of Doctor Who this year, one Doctor a month, with the exception of watching 8 and 9 in the same month, so that I can kind of put them all in the same year. And I've actually already started on that a little bit, and Derek's even going to watch some of it with me. It's a lot. It's a lot. I don't expect him to watch all that. So that's sort of on the pop culture front. I also want to start watching Star Trek series. And yes, all of them. That will take me a lot longer than a year. We'll see how that goes. And there's maybe a few other things I want to watch this year, but we'll see what I get to. For stitching, I've got some more seasonal stuff. I want to finish up my monthly Bulbasaur collection. So I've got one that I'm doing for January, and then I already have ones for February, March, April, and May. So all I've got left, once I have the January one, all I'll have left is June, July, and August, and I already have some picked out for that. So after next month, you won't see any Bulbasaurs until the summer. I also want to finish up my seasonal sets that I'm doing of the Stitchy Princess patterns. So I've already got fall and winter done, and I will have both of I already have one of the spring ones done, and I'll have the other one done this month. So then I'll just need to do the 2 ones I was planning to do for summer. And then I may think about picking up a new seasonal series to work on. We'll see. I've got a few in mind that I might do, but we'll see. Yes, I'm going to be busy this year. I gotta get cracking, which probably means I should wrap up this video and go stitch. Because I have an incredible amount of work to do. You saw all my goals for this month. I may be just completely off my rocker. We'll see. We'll see if these are reasonable goals that I can reach or not. I don't know. I feel fairly confident because I was able to get a lot done on the Kingdom Hearts stitch in each month. So now that I don't have that I'm having to work on every day, of course I've replaced it with like all the princess stitching, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. Anyway, this is probably a little longer than my videos usually are, although sometimes I'll be like, oh, I feel like I went really long and it wasn't. But anyway, I hope that you have a good, and I don't want to say productive because like that's not the only measure of your life. But if you want to be productive and that's important, then I hope you can do that. If you want to take it a little easier this year, that is also great. But I hope you have the type of year that you were hoping for, and you can do the things you want to do, whether they be work related or fun related. And I hope that I will see you in my next video. It should be the first Saturday in February. All right. I'll see you then. Just keep stitching. Bye.